Hi there. How's it going? Well, let me tell you, it's a little bit sunnier than it normally is here because it's a different time of day, but oh well, what are you going to do? Okay, my name's Bruce, and in case you haven't been paying attention, this is my classroom in the forest. And thanks a lot, man. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that you're going to like and subscribe and, maybe leave a comment and tell me how really silly I'm being, but that's okay. Either way, we're all good. So we like to talk about stuff here. And today, I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to talk about children and things. So, when I was a kid, and even now, you want stuff. Want something. So, I think, geez, I want this. Whatever it is. And then you think, well, but I want this thing, but I already got some other thing, and maybe the other thing's good as the thing that I want, or it's fulfilling a role. Okay, it's like this idea of maximizing utility. So, the joke I have with my wife, I've had this joke for decades, is she says, "Hey, can you go take a picture of this, whatever it is?" And I say, "Honey, I don't have the right lens." The joke being that, you can always fill it in with a new lens or different lens, or let's go buy a lens, because it's always, if you're a person like me, it's fun to buy a lens. Or you want to talk about bikes, how many bikes should you own? Well, you should own another one. You should always just go out and buy another bike. It's kind of a joke. It's not really true, but it's kind of true. Okay. Now let's talk about government. To say you got a government, you think you're looking at your production possibility curve, the suite of things that you can make. We talked about that as what do we have and what do we know? Well, maybe if we stick with what we got and we try to know a little bit more, then we can expand that production possibility curve, and that's what we can do. And it's kind of like saying to a child, like, okay, you can have that new toy, but have you played with the old toy? Have you finished playing with all these toys you have over here? You ask that. Say, okay. Now, you might have noticed I like to talk about a person. So the person I'm going to talk about in this context, I'm going to take this chalk on this chalkboard. I'm going to draw a picture. So you start over here, kind of goes like this. Picture kind of goes like this. Goes like this. It's over here. So this is a picture. It's a bad picture, but it's a picture. Okay, you got that. It's a picture. More so than it's a picture, well, it's a map. This map is we'll label it Russia. Okay. Now let's pretend that you're the leader of Russia. You think, you're having a conversation like with your parent, your dad, ideally with the people that have made you the democratically elected leader of Russia. And you're talking with the people who are also members of your democratically elected government. And you're having a discussion and you're saying, okay, we'd like to get something. But first of all, are we doing everything we can with everything we got? What's the answer there, do you think? It's a big fat, really. So then, now, because you might not be talking about a democratically elected situation, what's going on here? Democratically elected situation. I think we're losing light somehow. Ooh. All right. Some light coming back. We're talking about a democratically elected situation. Now, because perhaps we're not talking about a democratically elected situation, perhaps we're talking about something different. Now, remember I talked earlier, I said about, this ideas and the value of everyone's idea. And the problem is that if you're not a democratically elected person and you're still wind up being the leader of, well, a country, this one, then you can exercise any stupid idea that you might have. And as I was saying, You can do any dumb thing that you want because you're not the democratically elected person. You're a someone that is taken power by force, subterfuge, and lies. So you're not held accountable, really. And when things start to go south and when you get old and your brain's not working the way maybe it should, then you come up with all kinds of really stupid ideas. And the stupid idea that you have is that, moving on to another picture, if you recall, we had a picture like that. It went over here like this, kind of like this affair. This is Russia. Russia is the biggest country by land area in the world. Okay? So if you think that Russia is somehow lacking in the resource department when it comes to expanding their production possibility curve and achieving full employment and delivering simple things that we take for granted, like, for example, if you pick an arbitrary village over here, hello, Moscow's over here somewhere, Moscow. It's bad writing, I don't care. Have an arbitrary village over there and you say, hey, what do you have? Do you have electricity? Not so much. Do you have running water? Not so much. When you go to bed at night, can you take a shower? Maybe not so much. So there's lots of simple things that can be done in Russia to make it better, to expand their production possibility curve. But sometimes the leader is a child. And when the leader is not necessarily democratically elected, then they come up with some cockamamie idea, like what they need to do is get this thing down here, Crimea, and then further get this thing over here, which is Ukraine. And maybe as in probably, sometimes jealousy kicks in, and they're looking at Ukraine and they're thinking, you know, these guys are doing pretty well. Their economy is growing and thriving. Their people are experiencing prosperity. They have free and open discussion. They have elections that are somewhat legitimate, actually fully legitimate. It's difficult. And they've elected someone that's downright impressive, let me tell you. Okay, so this character over here, he's jealous and insecure. So what does he do? He convinces himself that he can send his military might there. Now, there's this idea that exists in the world. It's called right. And another idea, it's called wrong. And another idea that's called let people thrive. Getting back to our earlier discussions about economics, the role of the individual is to maximize their happiness. Okay? And if you keep out of the way, the business community is going to do what the business community does. And you as the government, it's your job is to maximize the well-being for absolutely everyone. A balance of competing interests. That's what happens it happens in the United States, it happens in France, it happens in Australia. Heck, it happens in China, happens in many parts of the world. It's the deal. It's the normal course of events. Okay? But if you lack the personal security, the confidence in your own self, then what you do is you lash out like a bully, like a coward. Cowards and bullies they're different sides of the same coin. Okay? And if you don't know what else to do, then basically you do what the leader of this country over here has done. Is he really the leader, though? I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a molecule of legitimacy, that guy. And he invaded there, and there's tens of thousands of people that are dying. There's madness and mayhem. Fortunately, the Ukrainians are people that have discipline, professionalism, democratically elected leadership and legitimacy. That legitimacy is recognized on the world stage, and the world has stepped up to offer them assistance against this horrible event. And what the heck? You know, it's not exactly what I want to talk about in my videos here, but ignoring this as a reality it's a giant elephant in a small room. This is this thing that's taking place, and it is, you know, it's upsetting. It's causing problems for lots of people, and it's horrible. Anyway, so I don't even know if I'm going to publish this video, because it's not really a rant. It's not making it up. This is real, you know. But it doesn't have a lot of happiness molecules associated with it. But I'll tell you, the thing about problems is problems have solutions. Okay, a problem comes with a solution. Now I got a plane over here, just a random plane. Hello, random plane. Kind of a big propeller plane. Anyway, problems come with solutions, and this problem has a solution but it's absolutely crushing the price that's being paid on both sides for the complete inanity and insecurity of this person, this weak little man, coward. That's it. All right. Anyway, I'm Bruce, and this is my classroom in the forest, and you can subscribe, you can hit the like button, you can leave comments. There you go. All right. Bye.